What's up, Conference USA fans, and welcome back to another episode of the CUSA Insider podcast, the official podcast of Conference USA. I'm your host, Jessica Radford, and we are in week 3 of CUSA Hoop Play. And oh my gosh, we only have one Conference USA team to remain unbeaten, and that's the Liberty men's team, and they are 7-0 in conference play. The rest gets a little messy from there, but here to break down all the madness of last week is Eric Jones.
Happy to be here again, and the season's flying by so far. Another great week of hoops we had. As Jessica mentioned, Liberty 7-0, the only undefeated team left on the men's or women's side so far. So super excited to kind of dive into what happened this weekend.
And before we get to all the craziness that just happened this past weekend, let's get into this week's top plays.
16 in 6 seasons. A lob now to Mims. Go get it.
Good backdoor cut and a blocked shot.
Warren attacks, leans in, and one for Amani Warren. 2-possession lead, 22.4 remaining.
And Eric Jones for FIU, both filling that role. Po' boy, corner pocket is pure.
Where with that knee? Trying to create the step back. Yes! Trinity Vance!
Has been shut out here in this second half. Loof! Oh, one-handed hammer!
Probably struggling on the other end. They get it back to him. He's blocked from behind. Collects the miss. Another swat by Taylor.
Double teamed. Kicks it to the corner. Verhulst goes baseline. Reverse layup. Verhulst.
A hard take. A denial again. Cleveland.
Bates. Dudley. 3. Good. 4.4 seconds to play.
All right, we have some crazy plays. We have some insane deep three-pointers. We have some tough buckets. We have some buzzer beaters this week. What was your favorite one?
Oh, yeah. I have to go with the old double block, the Kennesaw State play. I mean, I would say this week, last week we had the alley-oops and whatnot. This week was like the week of the block. And, the double block there from the Kennesaw guys was pretty incredible and a great week for them. We'll get to that here in a little bit, though.
A lot of defensive plays this week. Just from Conference USA all around, my favorite is Middle Tennessee's Kirsten Verhulst. Literally baseline, dropping up behind the back. Back is to the basket, scoops and scores it. Insane play from her. Absolutely athletic.
No doubt. Yeah, that was sweet.
All right, so we touched on it just a little bit. Liberty is 7-0. Just what is getting it going for the Flames right now?
I mean, it's got to be their offense, right? I mean, this team is, like we preach all the time, they're experienced. They have the veteran leadership. It's probably the team we know the most about as of right now, just after their run last year and bringing back all these guys. I think it all starts with Zach Cleveland. He is the offense, and they kind of, I feel like, base it around him. Right now he's doing some incredible things. He is consistently stuffing the stat sheet. Right now he's averaging 11.6 points per game, 8.3 rebounds per game, 7.3 assists, 1.6 blocks, and a little over a steal a game, which is, I mean, to see a guy doing that is incredible. He's a bigger guy, but he can play so versatile. He plays almost like a guard. One of the stats I found this week was another really cool deal. He is one of only 5 players in the last 30 years nationally to average at least 10 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, a block, and a steal. And he's played in, I think, 17 of the 18 games so far this year for the Flames. So, obviously they have hopefully to have 10 or 15 more games on the schedule. But what he's doing right now at this rate is really incredible. And, we'll get to talk to him later on the podcast here. But, one of the things that we heard from him was just how the game has slowed down for him over his 4 years in Liberty. And you love to see a guy that's, especially with the day and age with the transfer portal, a guy that has stuck through since his freshman year, which is crazy to see that he's already a senior this year. But yeah, he just preaches about how the game has slowed down for him. We'll get to that again here in a little bit with Zach, but just incredible work from him and Brett Decker Jr. young guy that it sounds like he is kind of the up and emerging guy with this offense, and he's top 5 nationally in most of the 3-point shooting categories. He's incredible. And then Cade Matheny, Colin Porter, 2 guys in the backcourt.
Insane lineup.
Yeah. They have a really experienced bunch, and I don't think they've gotten off to the best start in the past few years in conference play. And I think for them to be able to start 7-0 like this is saying a lot. They're 10-0 at home right now still. So they'll get to go on the road this week and have some fun matchups. But really impressive work with them right now.
For sure. Liberty is doing great, but somebody we just have to talk about is Kennesaw State. They are, they've lost the first week of conference play, but ever since then, they have been ablazing.
No doubt. 0-3 start to conference play. They're obviously picked to be at the top of our league this year by the coaches, and they're on a 4-game win streak. I knew they'd bounce back. To start the season on 3 straight road games in conference play is no easy task, and they came back and they've battled through and through, and even down. I mean, last Wednesday they're down by 10 at half, down by 13 at one point against FIU. Managed to make a little comeback. I want to give a huge shout out to RJ Johnson. This guy's balling right now. Really stepping up for this team. He had a career high 26 on Wednesday night against FIU in that comeback win, and then had another career high on Saturday with 31 points. He was our conference USA Player of the Week this week. And then not to mention Trey Simpson, a true freshman guard right now who just won his 3rd Freshman of the Week award. Not to the fact that he hasn't reached the Woolley 10 yet, but this guy is really balling out. Simpson's got 3 Freshman of the Year awards so far, and he's scoring double digits every night. He had 28 in that win on Wednesday last week. So excited to see where Kennesaw's at, and they got a tough road trip this week as well. But yeah, excited about Kennesaw State.
We went through Liberty. We went through Kennesaw. Who else is sticking out to you so far?
I think we got to talk about Sam Houston. We actually talked about them with Clifton last week in the office a little bit, and we're just like, I always feel like they're in every game, and they're bound to. 2 years ago when they joined the league, they went 13-3 and kind of dominated the league. Was the 1 seed in the tournament. Last year fell off a little bit, but we're still there. They were still battling. Had a lot of single-digit losses, 1-possession games, just couldn't get it done. And after the weekend that we saw this week, they went 2-0 on the road. They were really, really impressive to watch. They have a guy like Vaiko Illich, a really big post presence for them. He can score in bunches, but this is a team that they put it all together, and they're total team effort every single night. It feels like, you have 4 or 5 guys scoring in double figures and really contributing, guys off the bench. They're one of the better bench scoring offenses in the league. So they've been really, really fun to watch. And as you saw in the top plays too, had a couple highlight reels this week. So, a win at Jack State and a win at FIU, against 2 teams that, Jack State office at the top of the league last year. FIU doing, I think, much better things this year. But right now we have 7 teams at 4-3 and 3-4, all within 1 game of each other. So there is a little bit of a mess there in the middle, and I think we will see a little bit more, fluid with the rest of the season here. So yeah,
It only will add up to a thrilling conference schedule.
No.
Oh, I can't wait. March will be here before you know it. Who knows? Everybody will probably be like 6 losses, and then we're like tiebreakers. How are we going to do it?
Let's not talk about that yet.
Don't jinx ourselves, huh? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this weekend, what should we look out for? What games?
Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to both Wednesday night matchups. Liberty going on the road to WKU. WKU dropping a game to Kennesaw State at home on Saturday. I think this WKU team is really good, especially when you get Tegan Moore going in that offense. But yeah, Liberty, been playing at home quite a bit here, and excited to see what they got on the road. Again, I think they're going to be the team to beat right now in the league, while they're still undefeated for sure. Another game I'm looking at is Kennesaw State at Sam Houston. Sam Houston had the great week on the road. They get to come back home and play, probably the 2, if you take out Liberty, the 2 hottest teams in the league that we obviously just talked about. So super excited to see how that matchup goes. I think it'll be it'll be a bloodbath. I think these teams Kennesaw State can score. Sam Houston can match them when they're at the top or when they're playing their best basketball. So, that one will be super fun to watch. And then move to Thursday. I think, we got our linear game of the week on CBS Sports Network. Missouri State at New Mexico State. New Mexico State, I thought, had a great week too. Definitely want to give them their kudos for going into Lynchburg and just about pulling off that win. They lost by 2 to Liberty, but they were down double digits, I believe, in the first half, and didn't really look like they were in it much. And Coach Hooten kept the boys in the battle, and just weren't able to get the dub. But super excited to see them come back home. A late night Thursday night for us with those Mountain Time games, and Missouri State, I'm kind of hoping they can get back up to where they were at the beginning of conference play.
Maybe another double overtime game.
We could see one. And then just talk about Middle Tennessee at Jack State as well on Saturday. ESPN Plus, 4:00. I think two teams that are again at the top of the standings right now, but we're at the top of the league last year. And Jack State, I know, wants to get back in their winning ways. So super excited to see how this one goes. And Middle Tennessee's playing in all sorts of tight battles this year. I haven't even mentioned, quickly want to mention the Louisiana Tech DJ Dudley buzzer beater was insane on Wednesday night, but a tough loss for Middle Tennessee, and good for them to bounce back against Missouri State at home on Saturday in a double overtime win. So a lot of crazy basketball right now, but excited to see another week and see how it all pans out. And yeah.
If you think the men's is crazy, the women's probably gets even a little crazier. Everybody has lost the game, which is kind of crazy because I feel like last year we had Middle Tennessee who had that streak of until the very end of the season where Liberty, got one up on them at the end. But right now, Middle Tennessee climbed to first place with 5-1, but they lost one to Louisiana Tech, who's obviously projected number 1 in the league. They lost. Louisiana Tech lost that first conference game to Sam Houston, but ever since then they've been on fire.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see a team that was projected at the top and have kind of living up to it so far, and especially into beating Blue Blood and Middle Tennessee in Conference USA. So super excited for the Lady Texters, and excited to see another week from them.
Their defense and their offense just definitely powered them through that game. They won that 61-48, which is kind of crazy because we know Middle Tennessee can score the ball, and we also know that Middle Tennessee, their scoring defense is literally so good. So for Louisiana Tech to just do both things on a team that knows how to do both of them, that's what you want. But Paris Bradley led the charge for them. She had 17 points, but it was just balanced. I think 3 or 4 of them all scored in double figures. So that was a really, really good win for Louisiana Tech on their home court. So Middle Tennessee had to go on the road, and we all know how tough road wins are.
I think that just says a lot about Louisiana Tech's coaching too, and Brooke Store, and getting her girls ready for a battle. They knew they had the home court advantage. And it was just about stopping the Blue Raiders, offense, and obviously a young team, and being able to be the veterans on the court and to establish kind of their, this is our place, this is our home, and we're, going to come out here, and they got a commanding win. So that was super awesome to see.
For sure, and I definitely want to shout out FIU. FIU, we talk about men's, how they're doing well. FIU women's are doing so well this season. They won 2-0 this weekend. They got wins over New Mexico State and UTEP. They won on Thursday 83-74 to New Mexico State. Just to get 80 points, they are just shooting this ball, and they're finding the hoop. And then 67-59 over UTEP. But Rima Collins is an absolute ball player right now for Jessica Burks-Wiley. She just gets it done on both sides of the ball, and that's what you want in a player. You want somebody that can play defense. You want somebody that can play offense, and she is a true trooper for them. She was our Conference USA Player of the Week, rightfully so. In the nation right now, she is points per game, she is 18th in the nation with 19.9 and 14th in rebounds per game with 10.7. So she is literally averaging a double-double, and that's not just in Conference USA play. That is throughout this entire season. So you want to Rima Collins? I don't know what they're doing in the Bahamas, but shout out to her because she's been putting in work, and it is showing night after night in Conference USA play. But then we go to Saturday, which this one definitely surprised me. New Mexico State upset Missouri State. That was 63-56 and snapped Missouri State's unbeaten conference streak. So Louisiana Tech snaps Middle Tennessee's unbeaten conference streak on Thursday. Missouri State lost to New Mexico State on Saturday. And it's just, everybody's just beating up on everybody, which I think
the parody about it. Yeah. Well, I think it's good for maybe some of these top teams to drop a game. It's never good to lose, but do it the way they're playing so well and so hot. Maybe it's okay to take a step back and all right, we took a loss. Let's get back in our winning ways, but know how it feels to play in those close games. And I think maybe it's good for them.
Oh, for sure. And shout out to Jody Adams. That was her 250th career win. So the Aggies definitely knelt that one out for her. And what way fashion to do that against an unbeaten conference team right now. But Middle Tennessee, Sam Houston on Saturday, an absolute nail biter. Middle Tennessee only won that game by 1 point. And honestly, I feel like if Sam Houston had probably 10 more seconds left, they probably could have gutted that one out because it literally came down to the wire and Sam Houston was scoring points. And that's why it was as close as it was, because during those last 2 minutes, Sam Houston was just putting the ball in the bucket. But came out a little bit short, 68-67. They lost that one at home. Middle Tennessee handed Sam Houston his first conference loss. So we had a lot of upsets on Saturday for sure. And I just want to give a huge shout out to Jack State. They literally cruised to a 74-47 win over Kennesaw State. That one is a little bit of a rivalry.
Means a little more.
Yeah, a little more. Jack State, they were at home. So obviously really good for them. Maya Barnes recorded a double-double with 18 points, and she shot 6 from 10 from the field and almost had it. Wait. Actually, she didn't have a double-double. She had 9 rebounds, so that's on me. Sorry.
Yeah, close enough.
But hey, it was close enough, right? She nearly had a double-double. And then, of course, we can't go without saying Delaware finally got a win. I was just saying that last week, how Delaware is always right there. And who knows? They can gut out one, and they definitely did that against Liberty. Not really sure what's up with Liberty right now. They are, on a little bit of a loser streak right now. And I know that is hurting their soul. But one thing Delaware did good was they just held them at the three-point line. And we all know Liberty can shoot from the three-point line. And if you want to hold them and if you want to win against Liberty, then that's a little tidbit, a little scouting report. Hold them from the three-point line and you can win 76-69. I thought it was going to go into overtime at first because it was neck and neck just going back and forth. And then within the last couple minutes, Delaware just was strong. It was like, nope, we're not winning it. I mean, we're not losing this one. And of course, home court advantage, I think that also helped them. And the Blue Hens finally got their first conference win. First ever conference they win. Let me say that.
I love that. And I think today I'm just giving all the coaches a shout out, but I think with just the way the games the results of the games turned out this weekend, I think you have to give a lot of credit to these coaches. And, we were talking about Middle Tennessee and how they went on the road, dropped again with Louisiana Tech, but they come back and get a 1-point win again on the road against Sam Houston. That just shows, the maturity and this coaching staff and how they can get their girls ready to go. But across the board, for Delaware to be losing the games that they were losing and to finally get that big win against, the former conference champion. I know they're not playing the basketball they want to be playing right now, but they're still who they are. They're Liberty. They're going to be one of the teams to beat always in this league. So what a win for Delaware as well. And I think Liberty, they'll be just fine. It's a new era for them. I think they'll be fine. They got the talent, they got the roster. We just maybe not have seen it quite yet, but I think they'll be just fine.
Oh, it's a lot of conference play to still go. And I, no doubt about it, that they'll definitely probably go on a streak. Hopefully I don't jinx them. You know how that's on the podcast, I guess. But 5-1, we have 3 teams at 4-1 in Sam Houston, Louisiana Tech, Missouri State. 2 teams at 3-2, FIU and Jack State, and then New Mexico State is right there at 3-3. So just like the men's, they're all mumble jumbled up in the middle. We're just top to bottom. We kind of jumbled up there.
Yeah, we never know what we're gonna get.
Never.
That's what we love about it.
Exactly. It's always the surprise. Like I said, you always have those couple teams where it's just like, wow, I wasn't expecting that. But kudos to you guys because y'all are just playing night in and night out. That's what you want from your team as a coach for sure. Some games just to look out for this week. Sam Houston at FIU, 2 teams that have been doing good. FIU, like I said, 3-2. Sam Houston just got their first conference loss on Saturday against Middle Tennessee. They're on the road. And I just know that Sam Houston, that defense will probably be a key in getting this win, especially if you can hold Rima Collins to under 30 or under 25, because she is just a 20-point game scorer. She always scores 20 points, I feel like. So if you can hold Rima Collins, I think you can gut that one out for sure. But FIU is just on a hot streak right now, and that'll be hard to, keep up with, especially since they're at home. So home court advantage for FIU. That is on ESPN Plus at 6 p.m. Another game to look out for, La Tech at Missouri State. I think this their first time meeting, just Conference USA. We already know Missouri State and what Beth Cunningham has done with her program, just not even Conference USA, just as a whole. Brooke Stower. We talked about her and what she's doing great things for her program. So I think this one will be a very, very good game. I probably can't even tell you who I think will win this one. I definitely think it'll be a back and forth battle for sure on offense and defense because they just have key contributors on both teams that can do both. That's on ESPN Plus at 6:30. And just to go on Saturday, again, another FIU and a Louisiana Tech game. La Tech at FIU. I think Thursday games will reflect onto Saturday. How those games finish and play out, I think it will definitely be a determining factor of how these teams, play on Saturday. It could be a confidence booster. It could be a confidence, loss, or, just fueling the fire and trying to get another win, especially if you lose those Thursday games. Sam Houston at Missouri State, I think that will also be a nail biter. Just two teams that are just doing really well. And, of course, our matchup of last year's Conference USA Championship, Liberty absolutely needs this one, I think, just to get their confidence back, especially if it against Middle Tennessee, who we know is always at the top of this league for the women's side. And if Liberty can gut that one out, I think the trajectory for them for the rest of Conference USA play will be on the up and up. Middle Tennessee, I'm pretty sure that loss last year hurt their soul, and they will be coming back for a vengeance. And that Middle Tennessee is at home. We all know home court advantage, and I think that one will be a really, really good game. That is on ESPN Plus at 4 p.m.
And I think the Lady Raiders they're going to get up for that one.
Mm-hmm.
I know they probably had a bad taste in their mouth after not making the NCAA tournament last year and losing in the championship game, but this is one that's been on the docket for a little while for them, and they're ready to get out there and play.
As you mentioned, we have an exclusive interview with Zach Cleveland. He talked about his career. He talked about their hot start right now. He talked about his family, a little fun questions, couple questions. So I think it was a really, really good interview. And check it out. It's brought to you by Victory Snacks. Joining us today on the CUSA Insider podcast, we have Liberty senior forward Zach Cleveland. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Of course. Happy to be here.
Liberty is 7-0 to start conference play. What's been the biggest key to that fast start in CUSA?
I would credit it to one, our coaches, but also our experience. I mean, having guys that have been through the conference season before. I mean, we've had a rough start the past couple of years at conference, so I think we were a lot more ready for the physicality and athleticism this year.
Last year, you guys won it all. Conference USA champions. From inside the locker room, what feels different about this team compared to last season?
I mean, you know how every team's got different personalities, and I think this team is very unique in their own way. And I think this year's team might even have better just all around guys. I mean, everyone is starting in their role and not afraid. No one's pride is too high to take on their role, and whether that's on the bench clapping for us and competing in practice or out playing 30 minutes.
Love that. CUSA play can be a grind night after night. What do you think separates Liberty from other teams in the league right now?
I mean, anyone could be anyone, but I think our coaches do a good job of making sure we're ready on game day, and whether from the scouts to the preparation and practice. Our coaches are elite, including like new coaches like Coach Zuzik and Coach Rowe do a really good job of making sure we're ready for the game plan for the following game.
You talked a little bit about the buy-in from the team. How much pride do you guys just take in being a program that's consistently near the top of the conference?
It's kind of like an expectation now even just to our fans and all that. But we take it serious. We know there's a target on our back. Have won the conference last year and the top this year. So we do take pride in it, and it's obviously it doesn't mean much right now, but we want to be there up there towards the end of the season. So.
I want to talk about you a little bit because you've been absolutely balling this season. You're averaging around 11 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. How do you view your role within this offense?
I think it's just whatever the team needs. I mean, I'm a versatile player, so some nights it's passing the ball, some nights it's guarding the best player, and some nights it's scoring. And so I think just being able to feel out each and every game and knowing what the team needs for that game is one of my strengths. Being able to do it all.
As a forward who facilitates a lot, what's the key to balancing scoring versus making plays for your teammates?
I think you gotta come out the game aggressive, because some teams their game plan is kind of latch onto it. We have some of the best shooters in the country, and so just being able to score one-on-one is important. So I think come out the game aggressive, so they got to react to that, and if they don't, just keep scoring the ball. But it's definitely a game by game thing and different each and every night.
You're a senior now. So from freshman to senior, what part of your game have you seen the most growth in?
I think as it comes with experience, I think just the game slowing down. obviously I used to turn the ball over a lot more. I mean, I know I'm still probably got some room to grow, but I think just taking care of the ball and the game just slowing down has been the biggest thing that's helped me this year.
How do you personally prepare for conference opponents who are seeing you for the second or third time?
Yeah, it's different. I think you got to watch a lot of film. That's I know it's probably the coach is going to like that answer, but it's really true. And just knowing that they might change it up, but just seeing what they did and if it worked, how to go about that and what to change differently. So just constantly be adjusting and ready to kind of know what's going to happen next.
We all know players love their home environment, but is there a particular CUSA environment or matchup that you just get really excited for?
Yeah, I actually do have one. Playing at Middle Tennessee is always fun. They're always, they're always top of the conference. They got some really talented players, and I like the blue court over there, the Greg court. So that game gets I get excited for them, ready to play there. It's always a fun time.
You don't like the palm trees on FIU's court?
No comment. No comment.
Oh my gosh. As you look ahead for the rest of the season, what goals does this team still have in front of it?
I mean, I think just to win in March. I think that's been our goal from the beginning. Once you get a taste of the NCAA tournament, that was my first time there last year. Of course, you want to go back, and we know first you gotta win 3 games in the conference tournament to get there. So that's obviously the goal, and then hopefully we can make it back to the big dance and win a game or two. So.
All right, I want to flip the switch a little bit. We like to ask some, fun questions here on the CUSA Insider podcast. So if I was to travel to Lynchburg, which I have been before, so tell me something I haven't tasted. What would you recommend for me to go eat?
Oh, go eat. Well, we actually have a surprising amount of Mexican places that are really good. So if you like Mexican food, there's a couple places like Papa Gallo that are really good, and then there's a little downtown Lynchburg which has some nice steakhouses. So if you're feeling bougie, there's some good steak down there too.
Okay, for Mexican, what are you getting? What should I get?
It depends how I'm feeling. If I'm like trying to be a little healthy, I'll just get tacos, and not that that's healthy, but some steak fries. Yeah, some lettuce, some tomatoes. Try to get some veggies in there, and then if I'm feeling a little big that day, I'll get a burrito, and you got to go crazy in the tortilla chips and queso.
Hey, you can never go wrong with queso, I feel like.
I'm saying.
Is there a player, current or just all time, that you mow your game after?
That's a good question. I think I really enjoy watching Draymond Green. Back in the day, growing up, I used to hate him. I used to be a LeBron guy, hate Steph Curry, hate Draymond Green. But now, as I'm growing up and maturing, I really respect Draymond's game and just being able to really run their offense, and he's a big part of why they were so good and won the championships over the years. So just kind of molding my game after him and knowing that you don't got to score to be impactful on the court.
Don't get into fights now, though.
I mean, you see my lips busted up. I won't say too much on that.
I have to ask because I feel like you just have a legendary household. Both your parents played in college. You have a sister who played at Purdue who do really good there. She's a coach at Butler now. So just how does that just family camaraderie around sports is for your day-to-day life?
It's definitely very competitive. I'll tell you a little story about the other night. When I played, it was the Saturday game, and I had like 20 points, 6 rebounds, something like that. And then my little brother, who's playing now, he texted me good game, and he usually doesn't do that, so I was a little confused. And I look at his stat line, he had 30 points and 10 rebounds. And so I was like, now he wants to say good game after he had a good game. But that's always like, man, we're just kind of pushing each other, and everyone obviously understands sports and supports each other. So just having a family environment that really cares for each other and is always cheering each other on is always comfortable.
I love that he had to one-up you.
I know.
All right, my last question is just about the fans at Liberty. What message would you send to Liberty fans and CUSA fans who are watching this run?
Yeah, just keep enjoying it. I mean, we need the fans. I mean, this conference knows how the home team wins a lot, and it's a lot to do with the fans. So just knowing that they probably impact about 6 to 8 points a game when they're there cheering loud and getting loud and giving us the energy. So just keep showing out, supporting, and we need the Flames fans.
Your fans definitely go hard for you guys. That's all I have for you today, Zach. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right, that's all we have for you on today's episode of the CUSA Insider Podcast, the official podcast of Conference USA. Don't forget to follow us on social media at CUSA Insider Pod on X and Instagram. And for all of our audio listeners, you can hear us on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. But if you want a visual for the week, don't forget that you can watch us on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, search in the search bar at Conference USA, and we have a whole podcast playlist that you can watch them all the way from the beginning. So check that out if you are interested in it. I'm your host, Jessica Radford, and I'll see y'all next week.